Hey, welcome to the DPP channel. Today I bring you a rough preview of what's to come moving forward for gameplay videos. Now for both One Piece TCG as well as Digimon TCG. This has been a work in progress and is still one. The layouts are still on the rough side, but it takes time to nail down perfectly. However, to prevent myself from going too focused on perfection, I figure why not just share a gameplay video with you guys already. Now obviously the main difference is how we're gonna have 3 outgoing camera angles comparing to the one before. This was a welcome change to how gameplay videos can be explored, as you can get a better in-depth to how plays can be further refined, and of course the thought process behind the players. Now enough about the changes. Today we have Big Mom versus Ace. Now both decks, they are available in the OP03 meta, and I must say these two decks are definitely fun to play. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the gameplay itself, as we do have Ace going first and looks like he does pass turn immediately because he doesn't actually hit the Izo or the stage turn 1. Now we do go for the second turn, which is definitely turn 1 for the yellow player. He does have 2 down the way, but we do see in his hand 3 puddings. Man. Now he does drop the one of the pudding, and pudding does allow you to look at top 4 to basically pick up any Big Mom pirates to hand. He's definitely like a Nami, but actually weaker in a sense, given that he does have the same stats. He does pick up the Soul Pokers. Now Soul Pokers is definitely a very interesting card released in the yellow side of things, because it's definitely like a security control if you are a Digimon player. He does drop another pudding here looking at top 4. Looks like he does hit into the Daifuku, and Daifuku is definitely a very strong card. Simply put, Daifuku is definitely a draw one for the yellow deck. Now we do have Ace going to a second turn with 3 Dawn. But looks like we don't actually have any much play for the Ace player, and this is definitely very struggling to see. He does actually put 2 Dawn to the Ace to swing at the Big Mom, and given that it's 3k counter, he does actually idiot, pushing it down to 4. That's into another 2k shield. I believe that's a Sanji, and with just 1 Dawn he does pass the turn here, and the Big Mom will go to 4 Dawn right now. And with 4 Dawn, I think we already know what's coming. Definitely a Daifuku. But he does swing with the Big Mom first, but however we do have the Ace effect, which allows you to actually drop an event for counter 1k. So just 1k guard here from the Big Mom is definitely very tempting. He does drop the Secret here to actually go for the 1k guard, and with 4 Dawn we do see the Daifuku coming down. And yes, Daifuku is definitely a very annoying card if you don't deal with it early. Luckily for the Ace player, he does actually have Jet Pistol in his hand. He does attach 1 Dawn to hit the Mom, and he does actually throw the 2k counter straight away. Going for the 4 Dawn play, of course the pistol is coming down to kill all the Daifuku before it gets out of control. Now, however, we do have 6 Dawn now for the Big Mom, and very interestingly, he doesn't actually eat the damage, pushing down to 3, because at 3 life is where the Big Mom really shine, as you can start swapping your life to your hand and putting from your hand to the life, allowing you to put very strong security effects to the life. Now we do see him actually calling down the pudding first, looking top 4 once again. That's the 3rd pudding in this game alone, and that's pretty sick if you ask me. You know, so he does actually going to go for the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is actually a strong skill, given that it actually can trash 1 life to actually kill a 5 cost below. But however, if you look closely at the trigger effect, it actually allows you to kill the 5 cost below for free. And that's pretty scary, given that Big Mom can actually manipulate that. That's attached 2 Dawn to the Big Mom, does swings for 7k, doesn't use his skill because you know you are not at 3 life yet, so you are not able to actually swap the life. He does actually end the turn by just calling the 3 cost vanilla down. And if you guys haven't already checked out the Big Mom decklist, I suggest you guys do so, which is in my previous video. Now we do have 7 Dawn for the Ace player right now, and he does have Entei, or actually the Flame Emperor in hand, but will it be actually good to use it this turn? We do set up the Striker, and using Striker ability to just rest itself for 2 Dawn, you can look at top 5 to add event card to hand. Now this is definitely a farming machine, but however, sometimes to take note is that it does take 2 costs to actually search for something, so it does prevent you from setting up more bodies on the field. We do pick up the Crossfire, adding it to hand, and Crossfire does have a very unique way of playing, given that it does have a main and a counter ability, meaning you actually can go for a main minus 4k on top of the opponent's character, and then going for plays like Pistol and of course Secret. We do end the turn here by just hard calling the Mako for 4 costs. Now Mako is definitely a very strong card, but however it does only activate its ability when you do have 2 life below, so it might be a premature call for some. And looks like we do have 8 Dawn for the Big Mom here now, and definitely he can make a lot of plays with 8 Dawn. But however, he does have 2 Big Mom in hand, so definitely the next turn is going to drop the 10 cost Big Mom already. It looks like just going to start off the turn with just Big Mom swinging, using his ability, swapping the life. He does pick up 1 Sanji from the life, and then putting the Thunderbolt secretly to the top of the life, and that's definitely very scary, given that the Mako is down there to actually receive the Thunderbolt. We do eat the life here for the Ace, pushing down to 3, eating the Otama. Not what you want to see, definitely, because you really want bodies onto the field. But we do have the ace in hand ready to drop down next turn, I believe. And it looks like the left player is definitely going for the aggressive turn. Given that he does have pudding on the field, he's going to attach 3 Dawn to the pudding, swinging for 1k guard. And 1k guard, even though it's such a small poke, it's annoying. You know, it's still 1 card in hand. So basically, like Zoro, you're just gonna absorb or rather demand a card from your opponent's hand. We do see another pudding swinging for 5k here. And he finally takes it, pushing it down to 2 life already, but looks like he does actually pick up an Entei from the life. Doesn't choose the trigger though, and we do have the vanilla swinging for 1 more k, and we're going to use the pistol to guard it thanks to the ace ability. Now it's going to pass the turn over, and we do have 9 Dawn for the ace player here. 9 Dawn is definitely a late game kind of situation, but we shall see how the ace decide to play this turn. Given that he does have Entei or the Flame Emperor in hand, he can choose to use it, but however, he's just killing off a vanilla body. Now the real question is whether you want to answer those puddings. He doesn't choose to do so. He's going to use the Striker ability here for 2 costs, looking at top 5, and but pick up the Radical Beam. Now Radical Beam is such a strong card. Introduced since OP01, but really fly offs in OP02 onwards, and in every raid deck now, it's a staple. Now we do see the ace coming down minus 3k on the pudding as well as the vanilla, and we do use the Mako here to actually swing over the vanilla. Now question is why you don't use it to guard? Because we actually do know that the opponent swapped the life and does pick up a Thunderbolt in the previous turn. We have to be careful of that before swinging to life, because the Mako will instantly die, and let's not waste the attack or rather the life of it. So it does actually let the vanilla go, given that it does require 4k guard, given the ace does minus 3k. Now we see a Thunderbolt coming down, and we do use the Mako ability. Now by discarding 1 Whitebeard card, it looks like we're going to discard the Izo from hand instead of the event, because the event technically is a 1k shield anyway, and we're going to use the ace to swing for 3k guard on top of the Big Mom. And with the Big Mom guarding, he does throw 3k worth of shield from hand, and he's going to pass the turn. Now he does go into his 10 Dawn already, and I must say 10 Dawn for Big Mom is a pretty scary turn, given that the Big Mom 10 cost has such a strong impact on play, given that you can actually just kill one of your opponent's life and gain 1 life. That's a very strong tempo turn if you ask me. Now we do see Big Mom swinging for no Dawn attached, just for 1k guard, and we of course know what's coming down. It looks like you're going to swing at the Mako, which is definitely a smarter move, because you actually can use the event to guard for ace, but you can't use the event to guard for Mako. Now we do see the Big Mom 10 cost putting the Mom to 3 life and the ace to just 1. And that's such a big gap to actually close. And we do finally have 10 Dawn for the ace. He does go for the 2 Dawn. Looks like he does have a play already. Let's go for the Crossfire to make Big Mom to 8k. And with the rest of the 7 Dawn, he does go for the Flame Emperor to kill off their Big Mom. It is definitely a very huge commitment to do all of that, but however it does eliminate the threat of the Big Mom, and it's going to swing at the life for just 8k. However, it does have double attack, and looks like it does use the ace ability here to drop 1 event to make it 9k, so it will be requiring 5k worth of shields. Looks like it does take it, eating into 1 vanilla. Not sure why you show it there, so definitely a misplay, but looks like he does eat into a Cracker, and the Cracker will allow him to discard 1 card from his hand. Just discard the Soul Pokers, allowing him to spawn out from nowhere, and this definitely adds the pressure to the ace. Looks like the ace will swing with the ace instead, and 3k will be forced out from the Big Mom's hand. Looks like the ace will not be swinging the Mako here, given that the Cracker did come out from nowhere, so we do have to respect that. The ace does have only 3 hand size here, and imagine if he start attaching 3 Dawn to the Lilin against, or rather the pudding, sorry, we're gonna force out quite a lot of pressure from the ace. Looks like he does actually swing the Big Mom first and forcing Otama 2k shield already. Does keep the Crossfire as well as the Entei, preparing for another Big Mom I suppose, but will it be enough? And looks like he does actually start gonna distribute the Dawn, so we're not gonna see a Big Mom coming out here. Now 2 Dawns will be attached to the Cracker, and you'll be actually swinging at the ace here, and that's definitely a problem. He does actually guard with the Mako, does let it go immediately, and with 8 costs he does call down the Katakuri, allowing you to put the Mako to the life. Now on paper, Katakuri adding life to your opponent definitely does feel kinda off, given that you are giving him 1 advantage of the life, but however if you look at it another way, you're removing the bodies, relieving the pressure of the Big Mom, and then you can just drop the 10 cost Big Mom to actually remove that body immediately. So it's a very clean removal if you ask me, and do they have the Striker searching for the Radical Beam from the top 5, adding it to hand. It's going to attach, or rather use 7 Dawn here immediately, I believe, to use the Flame Emperor on the Katakuri, given that Katakuri is 8k only. It's going to swing with the ace at the life, Will he actually drop one card for the event, or rather drop one card for the 1k? He does actually do it, and the life is taken. But however, we do hit into a soul focus, and soul focus allows you to choose to give your opponent a life or trash their own life. Now, of course, in this very bad situation, we do have to give the Big Mom the life instead of actually trashing our own life, because if we do trash our own life with just 2 cards in our hand, we are definitely going to smell lethal from here. Now, we do have 10 Dawn once again for the Big Mom, and how will he do it? Actually just drop the Big Mom immediately, pushing us to 1 life for the ace and the Big Mom to 2. The Big Mom will actually swing at the life here, I believe. He does swing it for just 1k, and look at our hand. Man, it's miserable, just 2 cards in our hand. We do hit into the Flame Emperor, very fortunately killing off that Cracker, but or not, it's just gonna force the Ezo from hand. But this is definitely not looking too good, given that we are at 0 for the ace and 2 life for the Big Mom. We do have a Big Mom with 12k on the field, and a Striker will allow us to look at top 5 here once again, but however, will it be enough? We do pick up a Radical Beam. It's very unfortunate that this game, the ace doesn't have much Marco to work with, because Marco is definitely the staple for the ace deck, given that it has a very sticky body, I would say. It does actually just discard 1 event from your hand and actually can revive from the drop zone, but this game we actually don't see any of it. We do see the Ezo actually looking for the top 5 for the Whitebeard archetype cards, and just actually pick up the Whitebeard Pirates, immediately searching for another top 5, hitting to the Marco blocker. And will it be enough to actually block off the 12k Big Mom? We will know later. Looks like he's gonna start counting the Dawn, and without any spare Dawn left, he's gonna just swing at the Big Mom leader for just 1k guard. The Big Mom does guard it, and we do see the Marco blocker coming down. We do have 2 standing Dawn for the ace player, and with the Big Mom having a Thunderbolt in hand, this smells like a lot of trouble for the ace player, because the Thunderbolt can actually just remove the Marco instantly. And then the Big Mom, the 10 cost Big Mom especially, can swing with such high power. Now with 2 costs, immediately he does go for the Thunderbolt, trashing the top card of his life. Very unfortunate that it doesn't actually add it to hand, but however the Marco blocker is removed, and we do see the Big Mom just applying a 1k guard, and of course the ace will throw the stage to guard it, but however we do have 8 Dawn attached to the Big Mom, and the 2 Radical Beams won't be enough. Big Mom do take this game. Now thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.